Welcome back to another Edgewonk review. We are here again with Moritz. Hello, Moritz. Welcome back.
Hello.
And thank you again. We have a lot of journals that were submitted for review, which is great. If you're an Edgewonk user and if you want us to review your journal, go to edgewonk.com/review and you can submit your journal. Let us know the journal name, and then we might take a look into your journal in one of the next reviews. So this is quite interesting. 113 trades, very good sample size. The win rate is quite low, but what I saw is that 56 trades were tagged as break-even, so it's skewing the win rate a little bit because we exclude break-evens from the win rate here. So they're not counted accurately. But the person is making money. We have a positive net return, and the average win is roughly twice the size of the average loss, which is a good starting point.
Well, I would say a profit factor of 1.3 over 113 trades. That's definitely, I mean, you're profitable, you're making money. So that's a great start, as you said. So let's see if we can improve that somehow.
Yeah, we have an average holding time of 52 hours. So that's not a day trader. And we have 1.6 trades per day. So let's see what we can find. Maybe first take a look at the equity graph. Lots of up and downs.
Okay, I can see 3 big winners in this equity graph, right?
Yeah, there are a few in this section. There are 2 or 3, but yeah, there's a lot of big spikes here.
Yeah. I hope it's always with the same risk management. Then it's good. Can you go to R multiple? Okay. Yeah, cool. Then that's totally fine. Yeah.
Yeah, you always want to be mindful of spikes, but they can also occur for good reasons.
Yes.
By the way, for you that have an Edgewonk journal and you see this here at the top, it's a warning and a hint. And when you click on it, you will get redirected to your deposits. And it means that your deposit date is not set before the first trade date. It's very important that the deposit date is set before the date of the first trade in Edgewonk so that all of the metrics get calculated correctly. Once you adjust that here, then this warning will go away. We can go to the risk distribution maybe. I found this quite interesting here. Usually you have one big cluster of where you see the bars for losses, but here we have 2 seemingly. We have 16 trades that are close to break even, and then maybe that's the average position size, what I'm guessing.
Okay.
15 trades, around 2% per trade.
Yeah, so this trader is working with varying position size, which in my opinion is great if you know what you're doing. Depending on how much experience you have with the strategy, you might have different qualities for your setups, quality criteria, and then you have a high quality setup, you take more risk, or medium quality, you take less risk. It's all fine and dandy, but I wouldn't do that until you really have a lot of experience with the strategy. Until then, I would really keep my risk linear, because that's a super advanced technique, super advanced.
So also just one more thing that you are worrying about and that can add inconsistencies. And that's why we see those spikes here, right? In the equity graph, here we have some outliers, 2 trades above 10% gain. 1 trade with roughly 6%, so that's where the spikes are coming from. But overall looks all right, I would say.
Yep.
Trade management or setup next, what do you reckon?
Let's take a look at setup.
We have 5 setups. By the way, we have just updated our chart lab. As you can see, a lot of our graphs now have those tables underneath. There will be a separate video about those coming soon. So the first 2 setups, they have a good sample size. 30 trades, 64 trades, 1 trade, not enough. 1 trade and 17 trades. All right. So that's a good enough sample size to prove that they are working.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I mean, the one setup that is losing is called confirmation. So whenever you wait for confirmation on your entries, that's when you lose money. That's quite interesting. Something you should dig deeper into why that is. Maybe you have your break-even point later because you enter higher or lower as opposed to using limit orders or so. I don't know, but if this trend continues, then you can just, drop that setup and never wait for confirmation and just use limit orders. It's less screen time again and
Mhm.
less stress. Yeah.
Yeah. Limit order seems to be working, although the average P&L, because those are 64 trades, it's quite slow, quite low.
Yeah.
Also, possibly an issue here. Yeah.
hmm A Globex trap seems to work the best for this trader.
Yeah. Yeah. 16 average P&L seems good. Sample size is quite decent as well. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Why do you think is there a need for having so many break-even trades? What could be the reason here for that?
Uh, it's hard to say without looking at the um, strategy itself. I mean, we could take a look at the maximum adverse and favorable excursion, but in general, when traders go to break even too quickly, might be a problem with trying to avoid losses, for example. That's definitely something I would take a closer look at, maybe with trade management.
Yeah, it's weird. One of the trades, the huge trade has been tagged with the break-even.
Okay, yeah, then
Tagging
maybe
those with
there's some.
break-even, I think, is fine. It's like your break-even threshold, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But let's take a look at the trade management tab. Maybe there's some insight there.
That makes sense. Your actual R is roughly around break-even. There seems to be maybe an edge hidden in your trade management. So potential performance
Mhm.
is 12R across 50 trades is not huge. It's definitely better than break even.
Can you look at the complete sample size? Wow, okay.
Yeah. So we have actual
Uh,
is 15R compared to 32. So that's 100% increase compared to, well, if the trader would have let the trades run,
mhm.
it's quite a lot.
That is quite a lot, and definitely something again that you should fix ASAP. Either you have to fix your trade management, or you have to play set and forget. For most traders, I think it's quite hard to trade set and forget because if your trade goes to, I don't know, 3R, your target is at 3.5R, it goes back to losing or so. That can be psychologically really hard. So I would most of the time not say that you have to trade set and forget, but definitely look at your trade management. There's
Yeah.
a lot more edge here.
Also, because the trader's holding trades for more than a day, there's always the overnight risk and trading into and through news, which is can be
Mm.
difficult with a set and forget approach and more
Yeah.
riskier as well. Let's look here at performance by time. And I just quickly jumped through the journal before and I found this really interesting that Friday is absolutely not working. Maybe it's exhaustion, maybe it's just being tired at the end of the week
Hmm.
because all of the other days are profitable, just they are quite profitable actually.
Interesting. Is that tied to a certain setup? Like, can you
Let me take a
filter
look.
for?
Only look at the Friday trades.
Yeah.
We need to change that to here. So we only truly look at the Friday trades.
And then the setups. Okay.
Breakout trades on a Friday seem to not work. Limit orders.
Okay. So again, the culprit here is the breakout confirmation setup. So the first thing you should do is to look closer at that setup, and then maybe even stop trading it completely on Fridays. And then on the other days, you have to look at why it's not working out.
And the trader could do that for just a period, maybe 2 months, see what happens.
Yes.
It's also going to free up a lot of mental capital.
Yeah.
What I found also interesting is when we look at the hour, again, the theme here, trading pretty much around the clock.
Yeah. Well, with limit orders, okay.
Yeah, right. Limit orders is
Yeah.
different. Should we see everything except for the limit orders? Might be interesting. So those are all the trades except for limit orders.
Okay, yeah. Also looks quite stressful.
Yeah. That could be the sleeping time, depending on what the broker time is.
True, yeah.
But there's also, yeah, here you have a window of profitability, but not a clear picture, I would say. Not like something that we have seen before where you have those 2 hours where you're making 90% of your profits.
Yeah, it's not super conclusive, so I wouldn't read too much into the time data. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes
What about the custom stats for this trader?
yeah. So time frame we have. And I found it was really interesting because it's again all over the place. 15 minutes profitable, 4 hours profitable, 5 minute, but then 6 hour daily and 1 hour not. Okay, well, daily is only one trade. Okay, we can neglect those, but 1 hour is not profitable at all.
Interesting.
So the one with the big sample size are, yeah, the 4 hour. Here we only have 11 trades. Hard to say yet.
Yeah.
No
4
clear.
hours seems to be the main trading frame.
Yeah,
Time
sure.
frame. 60 minutes, I would say for now, keep going to trade, because for me personally, it doesn't make sense that if you are profitable on the 4 hour and the 15 minute, why 1 hour wouldn't work out.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I would simply continue trading that and see if this trend persists, but it should not logically.
Yes, correct. Yeah, we had a journal previously where you saw that all the intraday timeframes below the 60-minute were profitable, and then if you go above the 4 hour, they are not. That's something that's a really clear picture that shows you are good on the lower timeframes. The high timeframes are not working. But here there's no conclusive picture which would tell you, okay, those are the timeframes that you need to avoid. See here. Confluence, good. So this is a German journal, but we can just easily translate them for you. So good Confluence makes money. Neutral Confluence is, well, pretty much break even. Bad Confluence is losing money, which kind of makes sense.
Okay. So what's the sample size on the bad Confluence?
Bad is 14 trades.
Okay. Oh. There's no reason to take bad Confluence trades unless there's really like you see a huge risk reward proposition or so. You think if this trade works out, I'm gonna make 10-1 on this, but the win rate is really bad. But in general, for most traders, it doesn't pay to take bad trades. So
Yes.
there's no reason to take these. Right?
Yeah. I'm not sure we get anything. This means stop loss set to break even when it hits 1-to-1 reward to risk ratio.
Okay. So now we know why this trader has so many
break even
trades, because they always get out at 1-to-1. Which then, if you have so many break even trades at 1-to-1, what if you always take profit at 1-to-1? It would be interesting to see with the alternative strategies. You could quickly check how that would work for you. Maybe taking profit at 1-to-1 or 1.5-to-1. That would be quite interesting. Yeah.
But here also 18 trades where the trader could not set the stop to break even, probably because they just turned from the start.
Yeah.
So then you're gonna have a lot of, the equity curve gonna be, a 1-to-1 is always harder to trade, I would say, for the long term.
It is definitely hard to trade, but it would be super interesting also in terms of trade management. If the 1-to-1 approach for you is profitable. Because if yes, then I would suggest definitely making some changes to your trade management. Maybe not moving to break even, but moving to minus 0.5, for example. You can go through your data, you can test it with alternative strategies, but you have to do something about your trade management. Or maybe trend. Take a look at
Higher time frame.
yeah. Trend, higher time frame, down, up, side. Ah, okay. Maybe only look for number of trades 52. Look for only buys in uptrend. That would be interesting as well.
Only long trades. Wow, okay. I did not expect that.
So when the trend is up and you're buying, you're losing money. That is, yeah, unexpected. But maybe it's a function of your strategy. But again, if you track something like this, like market condition, and you realize that when the market condition is this and that, and this setup doesn't work out, then in the long run, you can filter out these situations.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super. I would love to dig into this more with a trader to get some context.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the alternative strategies. We have not seen them in one of the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
There's no data, unfortunately.
Okay. Oh. So in the alternative strategies, you can simply test how your strategy would perform if you applied different trade management rules. And this trader also wrote to us that they have problem with their trade management. And we saw in the review that the trade management is probably the most problematic aspect of this whole journal. So my suggestion is to go in there, get creative, have maybe 5-6 different alternative strategies. What happens if you always move to break even at 2-to-1, or you only move your stop to minus 0.5, stuff like that. And really dig in there, because there's a lot more potential here with this strategy, with better trade management.
Yeah, totally. That would have been, I think that's, yeah, as you said, that's what the trader said. And you can see it in the custom stats. It seems like it's a huge deal for the trader, trying to come up with different ideas. But
Yeah.
the best way to test it is really the alternative strategies. You don't have too many trades under your, for example, if you want to test it on breakouts, it's 17 trades, even 30 trades on the Globex. You'll be done in maybe an hour. And you can get a very, very clear picture of what would be performing best.
Yes.
And then you can put your mind at ease and don't have to worry about it anymore, because I think it's going to eat up a lot of mental capital from how it looks the trader is taking or journaling his trades.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at the trade comments. We have not done that. So the entry comments, good is making money, which is always good. Aggressive, only one trade. According to plan is making money, but not a lot, which is sometimes what I often see. So we have one custom stat according to the plan and good entry. I would assume they are very similar.
Yeah.
And one suggestion is to keep your comments and the tags really concise, so that you don't have similar trades in different categories, because it's gonna when you look at this, it's very hard to come up. Maybe the trader knows what the differences here are, but it's not an effective way to journal your trades. If instead of those however 7, 8 comments you come up with 3 or 4 that would help you really nail down your areas for improvement or what you need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Here we don't have a lot of data points on the ones where the trader has losses. Take a look, management. Again, super interesting here. According to the plan, but it's losing money. So yeah, trade management is the big issue here for that trader.
Yeah, and the other one is taking profit too early, and that one makes the most money.
Yeah, but it's only 4 trades. Hard to say.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of data points here. Not according to the plan is making money again. According to the plan is losing. So trade management is really here the thing that the trader needs to look in. And alternative strategies are really the way to go here.
Yeah. By far
you
the
just-
biggest pain point.
Yes, totally. And as you can see, I just created a new alternative strategy. You select a setup. Let's assume you want to look at breakout, the one that is not performing. And then you just go through the trade one by one. You can pull up the trade. You look at, okay, what happened there? How would the trade have performed with a different management approach? And because the trader has good screenshots, this should be doable very, very easily, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It takes not even a minute per trade. And then by the end, you have a very good idea of what is working better or what would have worked better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, I think, the big takeaway for that trader.
Agree. Like taking a look at the breakout setup, if that still makes sense for you to trade in the future, and then also the trade management. Those are the 2 big things here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Those are the things with immediate focus. And by the way, if you have gotten a journal review from us in the past and you would like us to do a follow-up review with what we have said you can try or should try, or you had some other ideas after watching our review, reach out to us again. Go to edgewonk.com/review, resubmit your journal. We will be really interested to see how your trading has changed and what you have learned and how it has helped you in your trading. Yeah, and with that, I think that's it for this review. Hope this trader got something out of it. Some ideas that we shared can help the trader move forward. And then, yeah, maybe revisit the journal in the future. Thank you again, Moritz, for being here as well.
Yeah, thanks.